Hey guys, I want to show you off something that I built. This is a tileable semi-flush trapdoor. So let's give it a look. That's the opening sequence, and that's the closing sequence. And it closes very fast. Now just a few notes before we continue. A few things. One of the main ones, I call it semi-flush because you have these right here. You need these to be immovable blocks or leave it empty. Right? So you could have a regular block, but you'd have to have it up here. You could use slabs if you wanted, just some half slabs on that row. But I say just use immovable blocks. And then you also have this block over here. And the second thing is actually this tileable triple piston extender. I didn't make this. This was made by Quantum Apple. The only thing I changed was I just changed these to blast furnaces because they're immovable. You can just use regular furnaces. It's not a big deal. Any immovable block, obsidian furnace, whatever. That's what you need right there, as long as it can transmit a signal. Now, the what's it called? Dimensions. I was tripping over my own tongue there trying to find the word for that. The dimensions are going to be variable because this is 3 blocks, but like I said, tileable, so you can go as far as you want either direction. But just for the sake of this video, it's 3 blocks by 6 blocks by 14. The only one that's going to change is the x-axis. I guess what it doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess you'd look at the F3 menu, but you guys get what I'm saying. That axis that way is the only thing that's going to change. You can do this by 1, by whatever, and you can also probably make this longer too with the slime. But I just figured 3 by 3 would be good because for you old school Minecrafters, seeing a 3 by 3. Oops. Seeing a 3 by 3 semi-flush trapdoor open that fast, and especially close that fast, right? That's like some stuff out of the future. I don't actually think this was possible before 1.15 because I tried doing this with just slime blocks, and I ran into some push limit issues. But the cool thing about this is you can use this as an entrance, right? So you just hit that, and you drop down. I think that's... You take fall damage if you fall down that far? Let me try. Game mode, survival. Okay, you take a heart with no armor. I guess you could remedy that by doing this. You could just put a slime block in there, or, you know, a water drop, whatever. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, man, I'm tripping over myself today. But yeah, you could just bounce and hit control. These blocks right here aren't necessary, neither or any of that. That was just to show the dimensions. But you could absolutely, the only blocks necessary in here is however you wire it. I have mine like that. And then these green blocks right here, because when this closes, these are just statically powered by this torch here. And all the button does is invert that for a moment. But the cool thing is, since, oops, let's fix that. Cool thing is, just having this passively powered means that as soon as these pistons hit back against these green blocks, it shoots right back up. Oops, man, I'm struggling today. But all you need is you just need it unpowered for long enough for the pistons to get 1 retraction from the triple piston extender. So that way you don't have a risk of, you know, punching up through the floor or whatever, or getting the machine stuck to itself. You never really know with stuff like this. Sometimes stuff just goes wrong. But this is a bulletproof setup. I've beat the crap out of this thing trying to find ways to break it. I actually, over there, like made some ghost blocks with pistons, which I didn't know was still possible, but I couldn't replicate it. I ended up cloning 2 slime blocks and two red concretes. And I tried as hard as I could to redo that, but it only happened once, and I broke it like an idiot, so... You know, maybe someone with a lot more time on their hands can figure out the piston dupes are still in the game or something, but, you know, that's off topic. Just right here, pretty dang neat, and, you know, you can use this as a base entrance. This area was originally, I had it boxed off like it was a base, just a proof of concept, right? But, you know, as long as you're cognizant of where these sticky blocks are, the slime and the honey, as long as you're cognizant of the path they travel, which is here and then down and back, and you make sure anytime you're blocking it off, you use immovable objects for that. This thing's pretty dang neat. And then, you know, once it's opened up, you know, it pulls the pistons right out of the way too down there. So You know, you could, if let's say you had this like that, you know, some business like this, you could have this to like an entrance to a hallway or something, and you could just like, you know, continue this outwards, right? And then just do something like this. I need to watch the path again because I'm kind of slow. Yeah, so you could do something like this. Oops. There we go. Let me figure this out. Wait. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Come on, son. There we go. And then just use white concrete to block off the ugly facade of the furnace, right? And then boom, look at that. You've got the entrance to a base, all snazzy and looking good. I don't even think, yeah, I think you can just use regular concrete here. And then, you know, obviously if you block off everything else, but, you know. Yeah, there we go. I kind of scared for a second that it was going to freak out or something. And look, you can even block this off under here, I think. Hope that doesn't break something. Let's test it out. Okay, no. Yeah, we're good. You just wouldn't be able to fill in this gap. You'd have to fill in the gap with it being cognizant of where everything's passing through. Yeah, you'd have to fill it in kind of funky that on the back end. It took me a little bit to do it, but I'm a little tired now, so I'm kind of slow. But, you know, the concept's there, and for, you know, like I said, in my mind at least, the 3x3 trapdoor has kind of been the like the great white whale of redstoners for the longest time. And you can go back and see like these massive piston like machines with block storage and stuff just to open up a little space this big in the floor, and it was less flush than this, right? You know, it's wild. If you guys want, I can do a block by block tutorial. I don't really know if that's necessary because it's not that complicated. Like I can just do like a once over so you guys can get a good look at it. So all this is here, let me time set day and then give you guys a once over. So you have your floor blocks right here, 3 immovable blocks. You go under, and you're gonna have a row of 4 sticky blocks, and then a piston, right? And then an inverted torch going into a block. That's gonna be your wall, right there. And that's going to come from your input, which is the button. And you're going to want to run your input over here. Oh, yeah, and important, make sure these repeaters are on 1 tick, right? You want the timings to be perfect. And then over here, you're going to have repeaters on 1 tick going into these observers. And then you're going to have this repeater on, what is it, 1, 2, 3? 3 ticks? Yeah, 3 ticks on that repeater. And then these observers are all facing the same direction. They're all like pointing their redstone that way. This observer's up, and then a redstone block, 2 repeaters on 1 tick each, then an observer going down, and you know obviously 3 pistons facing that way, all sticky of course. And then this one, you got those observers facing into the repeater, and then this repeater is going on all these on 4 ticks into the immovable object, and then you have an immovable object up here. Yeah. So that's like the blocks on top. I don't know if I already mentioned that, but blocks on top of these observers pointing up, so you can power these repeaters. But yeah, that's it. It's not complicated, and you could make this as long as you want. Granted, all the timings are the same on the repeaters, right? Once you go out like, what is it, 15 blocks, you're gonna run into issues. So you start running out of signal length. You have to get creative with how you power everything at the same time. But you can also go out farther as well to the push limit with each tile. So the push limit's what, 12 or 15 blocks, something like that. And you got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So then 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so you should be able to go out 1 or 2 or 3. I'm iffy on that because I don't know the push limit off the top of my head. I don't make giant piston contraptions, usually just tiny doors. But yeah, you can go out probably, 1 or 2 more blocks this way. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, so hypothetically, you could make this a 5x5, and that'd be pretty dang impressive. And the only difference is you just have to have two more. If you're making like a 5x5 or even a 5x15, if you want to get crazy, you just have to have an immovable block for each tile. So yeah, that's it. This is the semi-flush trapdoor that's tileable. And again, that triple piston extender was made by Quantum Apple. Thanks for watching, guys.